Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the moment a lot of you have been waiting for all evening. We're going to be going into our last quarterfinal of the night, and of course the last best of three on this stream. We have LiquidSnute going up against Caronte's LucifroN. It will be a best of three ZVT, and map number 1 is on Antigua Shipyard. As you can see, we're into the game, so let's go get stuck in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerdlings of all ages, we have, ladies and gentlemen, a pretty enthralling match here, and I'm sure you guys are going to be enjoying it as well. Spawning in the bottom of Antigua Shipyard as the green Terran player, one half of the Spanish Armada, representing Caronte Esports. We have none other, ladies and gentlemen, than LucifroN. He's going to be going up against our Zerg player, spawning in the blue, in the top of Antigua Shipyard, representing the world-famous website and team, TeamLiquid.net. Their newest acquisition and European sensation, we have Snute. Alright guys, so this should be gearing up to be a pretty epic quarterfinal. Don't forget, LucifroN, I believe, came on at about half an hour ago to get ready to play his game. So he's had a little bit of rest as well, as I think Snute has. They might have been watching the stream. They might have been getting a little bit of rest. They could have been playing some practice games. But either way, they're not exactly daisy fresh because they've been playing a lot of games today already. But they have had a mini break. And that hopefully means that we see the best out of them in this particular best of three. Only one of them can advance to the semi-finals. And need I remind you as well, Vortex is in another quarterfinal, which means that LucifroN Vortex, the classic Spanish Armada brother-on-brother team kill, can happen in the semi-finals. But LucifroN must first get past this Zerg, an absolutely formidable beast in Snute. So we've got the command center into barracks coming out from LucifroN here, and in the meantime we have the hatchery pop out coming into pool from Snute. Things looking pretty chilled out at the moment. And nothing too much of note so far in this game. LucifroN is going to be going for his gas at this point as well, and Snute does see that with the scouting overlord. We also have a gas going down for Snute. So he will be looking to invest earlier on in Zergling speed to try and establish a little bit of map control, hopefully, before Hellions become prevalent on the field, should LucifroN decide to move with that kind of game. SCV Scout now from LucifroN, just going to be checking out exactly what's going on in Snute's base. And of course, the Overlord is also going to be able to check out a fair amount, but only until the first Marine pops out. Then he better get the heck out of dodge, which is why he's moving into the corner. SCV Scout going into the main base now. And there are 2 queens on the way, so he is going to have to get out relatively quickly. But Snute, at the moment, not building any more Zerglings, or any at all for that matter. He just wants to drone up as much as he can and use his queens for static defense. And he needs to be careful as well, because if a queen starts hitting this SCV, the one from the natural is comfortably within ramp distance, so he will be able to come out and destroy this SCV as he goes home. Watch. Inject, come out, and the SCV is close to death here. He might survive, but only just, and literally just survives. So need to be careful when the creep is that close to the ramp, but LucifroN able to get away with it there. In the meantime, it does actually look like Hellions are going to be the order of the day. We have the factory coming down here now, and the reactor going up on the barracks. So LucifroN will be moving into a pretty standard reactored Hellions, possibly with some Banshees to go with that as well, like a side order of fries. But Snute has other ideas. We have a pretty early Roach Warren coming out from him, and he says, you know what? I fancy going Roaches and completely shutting this down. Let's see if he can make, if this is going to be defensive or if he's going for an absolutely massive Roach attack. Either is potentially possible. Let's see what the decision is in just a moment's time. And we do have the starport going down, by the way, with the tech lab as well, in a nice little line here. So we are going to have Banshee play come out of LucifroN after these initial Hellions. Should come as no big surprise, of course. Pretty much bog standard TVZ build here in Wings of Liberty. Pre-Heart of the Swarm coming out, naturally. But it's worth noting that Wings of Liberty has given us some absolutely amazing games of late. Those of you who have seen the latest GSL season will know that Wings of Liberty is but far from stale and has actually produced some absolutely epic games. Lucira versus Gumiho, best game of all time? Maybe, possibly, I think so. MVP Pult, of course, that famous game as well, has a possible contender for that. But anyway, we have the third base coming down now as it looks like Snute is just going to rush through these Hellions, and dear oh dear, with a decent Roach attack as well. He is droning up behind this, so this isn't like non-stop Roach aggression. And we have the wall off at the front successful, but this Roach hasn't taken much damage. I wonder if Snute realizes that he might be able to go up and start one-shotting, taking out SCVs or something like that. I wouldn't mind if he did that right now, because he could probably kill 5 or 10 SCVs doing that, but now the Banshee is out as well. It's going to be somewhat difficult. There we go, focusing down SCVs, and the Banshee is doing a little bit too much DPS. Snute is going to attempt to head back home, and LucifroN holds comfortably. Really nice with that supply depot wall as soon as he saw the first Roaches. The third base, though, is on the way for Snute. And LucifroN does not really have a massive mobile force out in the middle of the map that he can use to shut this down. The Banshee's going to be great for defense, but Snute can, for example, build Spore Crawlers and get a couple extra Queens in his base, no problem whatsoever. And that should allow him, at least for now, to hold his third base comfortably. We have the starport continuing to make Banshees, because if you're investing in Cloak, you might as well. Managing to pick off another Roach or two there, and the Banshee does have Cloak, but she might be going, and pardon me, with her friend here. A second Banshee looking like she's going to be joining up with the first. Are we going to see a third? No, that gets swapped around so we can start tank production reasonably quickly. Double Engineering Bay coming out from LucifroN as well. Really enjoying his upgrades. We see a lot of Terrans do that. Pretty normal these days. And we have the reactor going down on the starport for that Marine tank medevac production in the late game. He hasn't shown Cloak yet, and the Spore Crawler is only half done. And here we go. Cloak activating the Queen. Definitely going down here. Can he pick apart the Spore Crawler? Oh, he's not actually looking to at the moment, and that's because the Overseer is already here. But 2 Queens going down so far for Snute. LucifroN trying to be as effective as possible with this Banshee harass, and this third Queen is looking like her life is in immediate danger, and she's going down as well. The Spore Crawler only just got started at the natural, so we have absolutely free pickings here of drones. This is fantastic news for LucifroN. The Overseer is coming by, but 3 Queens have been killed. I don't think LucifroN's afraid of the Overseer at this point. So many drones going down, 14 and counting, and this Spore Crawler can't actually hit this right now. Oh my god, drones being retransferred to the natural. So many workers going down. This is super frustrating. 55 to 49, but Snute is basically non-stop droning behind this, and as quickly as the drones come out, they actually get picked apart. Finally, the Banshees get driven out, but a total of 21 workers have been killed this game. 99 to 99 supply, and 57 to 51 works in favor of LucifroN. And don't forget, LucifroN has those mules he can rely on as well. Tag Team Banshees doing a tremendous job here in this game. LucifroN now going to be taking his third base, feeling like he is in a comfortable position here, managing to do enough harassment damage that he doesn't feel like he needs to be too much more overly aggressive. We have the reactor complete on the starport for those lovely medevacs incoming. We should also have an armory on the way. We do indeed, right next to the engineering base, so the 2-2 can start promptly, and more reactors on more barracks coming into for that extra punch of Marine production. Siege mode and the first tank on the way as well. Don't forget, LucifroN spent a little bit more gas earlier on in the game going with Cloak on those Banshees, so some of his tech will be slightly delayed, but as you saw, the amount of damage the Banshees did, kinda worth it. We've now got a Roach hit squad coming in here from LiquidSnute, going to be popping down towards the third base of LucifroN, going to try and take apart the back rocks. Has LucifroN see this? He hasn't, but if he has hit point bars on, he can notice that these destructible debris are suspiciously leaking green vomit. As we do have a little bit of a Hellion drop going on in the main base, killing more drones from LiquidSnute. This is not what he needed right now. There's only 1 Queen, of course, because the Banshees did so much damage earlier. And the Roaches are now back, but at what cost? Oh my god, so many drones getting roasted there. Total number of workers killed up to 34, but LucifroN has not noticed that these Roaches are actually now in his third base. So both sides trying to take apart each other's workers as it currently stands, and it looks like this is actually going to get taken out. Not too many workers killed just there, but there is 1 Roach slowly but surely killing more and more. 38 workers killed at the moment. Are there more in the main base? Is it 1? Yes, it is. The tag team of Banshees at the third base continuing to wreak havoc. Their reign of terror on the Zerg base is not finished. The drones are transferring a little early. There's no Queen here, and the Banshees catching so many more drones out in no man's land. A little bit of indecision from LiquidSnute here is not going very well indeed. Good transfuse there from the Queens, and along with the Overseer, the Banshees once again are going to get driven up, but a total of 47 workers killed. LucifroN currently supply blocked though, needs to make a couple more depots, and does so immediately. Right, well, we have a fourth base being snuck in the top right kind of location here, and we also have this being walled off by some supply depots and a command center from LucifroN. Good decision. We also have the Hive on the way inside the main base from Snute too. And in the meantime, 6 Marines, 2 medevacs, and a tank at a time are being produced from LucifroN. He's up to 162 supply versus LiquidSnute's 126. More Queens being picked off. If I had to take a shot... Okay, guys, you want to play a game at home? Do you happen to have a liquor of your choice nearby, assuming you are of legal drinking age? Take a shot every time you see a Queen die this game. That's going to be an awful lot of drinking you're going to have to do. A Changeling right in the middle of this does actually see the army is preparing to take on the third base, but does he actually have enough to stop this? And oh, the Infestor getting taken out almost instantaneously. Tanks also sieging up at the bottom, and I think Snute might be in a really difficult position here. LucifroN playing this game like an absolute baller. And now Snute's coming in to try for the defense, but more units are being stimmed up behind the tanks. 2 tanks with siege. The Infestors are caught offside. They're caught offside, and the siege tank is being made to target the Infestors. Great fungal growth, but the siege tanks are picking them off from afar. This is fantastic stuff from LucifroN, who's now up to 177 supply versus the 99 of LiquidSnute. This is looking very, very difficult for him indeed. A couple of units preventing reinforcements going in there. GG, and LucifroN takes game number 1.